Namaste. This was just 4 days before Tamil Nadu went to the polls. These visuals went viral. Thalapathy Vijay, the superstar, millions still called by his screen name, filmed on his knees, advancing towards the altar of St. Anthony's Church on Wireless Road in Trichy. Trichy East has a large Christian population. So does Perambur, the other seat he contested and won. Nothing unusual in this. He has every right to practice his personal faith. But here's what changed. Until then, Tamil Nadu mostly knew him as the film actor. It was only later in the campaign when Joseph started appearing more prominently before his name that many realized his Christian identity. On the day he was sworn in as Chief Minister, Joseph Vijay declared, "If anyone considers this as a minority government, we are happy about it. We ourselves are saying this is a minority government. This is very critical." Sitting in the same house that day, Vijay listened as LOP Udayanidhi Stalin closed a speech with a call to eradicate Sanatanam. Vijay didn't utter a single word about this. So tell me, what is the real difference between a secular promise and a religious practice? He came to power claiming Tamilaga Vetri Kazhagam would be a clean secular alternative to the DMK and AIDMK. But look at what has happened since then. A pattern of political positioning, appointments, public statements and outreach to Christian organizations has given enough reason to question whether the party's secular branding conceals a distinctly Christian-friendly political project. Does this pattern look secular to you? Wherever you look, the Christian angle kept popping. In the state budget, among the ministers, on the assembly floor. In every word they uttered on matters concerning public and state affairs, Christian dogma, Bible verses, Catholic prayers, found their way in. Don't you think the personal faith of leaders should remain private? This is no longer only about Vijay's personal faith. It's about how power is being used. Joseph Vijay's style of politics is not new. It closely follows the model of Andhra Pradesh's former Chief Minister Y.S. Jagannath Reddy. Open minority outreach, evangelical support, preference for Christian institutions, and an image of simplicity. Now let's look beyond Vijay himself. His family network raises another set of questions. His uncle, Xavier Alphonse, former principal of Loyola College, Chennai, has faced allegations of financial irregularities and misuse of institutional authority. Another uncle, Xavier Brito, is said to have backed Vijay's early film career through XB Film Creators. So is this simply a family connection? Loyola's influence in Tamil Nadu civil society runs deep. Education, institutional access, and networks of influence. And when you put all these pieces together, a question emerges. How much of Vijay's journey from cinema to the Chief Minister's office was shaped by an institutional ecosystem? Is actor Vijay's political rise an organic movement or the culmination of a decade-long geopolitical playbook? A provocative theory gaining traction among critics suggests that the superstar's political entry isn't happening in a vacuum. Instead, they point to a long-running chronology. Christian fishermen and St. Luke's Church at the center of the 2012 Kudangulam protest. Church-linked mobilization in the 2018 Thoothukudi agitations that left 13 dead. And a recurring network of foreign-funded NGOs tied to Caritas, Miserior and Soros-linked sources. Critics argue that the street protests of yesterday have simply rebranded as the political projects of today, with Vijay at the center and as a project. Even before Joseph Vijay becoming Chief Minister, the cultural signals were clear. Tamil New Year has traditionally been celebrated on the first day of Chittirai, around April 14. Yet, Vijay supported celebrating Pongal as Tamil New Year, a position critics argue detaches Hindu tradition from Tamil identity. Now let's look at the ministers of Joseph Vijay. Vijay personally moved the motion that made John Christian Devavaram Prabhakar Speaker of the Assembly. Prabhakar is a career lay evangelist who has run a Bible distribution ministry since 2004. He opened the house by reading 3 Bible verses from the chair, the first time in Tamil Nadu's history. Later, he read out a full wish list from Christian churches, faster NOCs, burial grounds, stipends for evangelists, higher subsidy for pilgrimage to Israel, liquor shops closed on Good Friday. His latest include a participation in the 5th National March for Life in Chennai, organized by the Madras Mylapore Archdiocese. Bharat is the country to which Tamil Nadu belongs, and Bharat has a law regulating abortion through the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. The Supreme Court of India has affirmed a woman's right to make her own decisions about pregnancy and reproduction without unjustified interferences. So, when the Tamil Nadu speaker publicly urges people to reject abortion and says, "We have no right to abortion," what exactly was J.D. Prabhakar pitching for? Finance Minister N. Mary Wilson walked into the assembly holding a rosary case alongside his budget briefcase, made the sign of the cross and said Amen, and declared that Christianity taught him the language of peace. MLA Mustafa said TVK entered the fray to abolish Sanatan. Now Vijay's minister says that Christianity taught him what the Tamil could not. On 7th August, Vijay appointed a party spokesperson as chairperson of the State Minorities Commission. On 10th August, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister met a delegation that included preacher evangelist Paul Dinagaran to discuss the FCRA amendment bill. 24 hours later, the assembly took up a resolution opposing the tighter foreign funding rules. This was not just a coincidence in timing. A state government met an evangelist over the centre's FCRA amendment bill and took up the same demand of the evangelist in the assembly the very next day. A state government using its assembly to oppose tighter checks on that funding is not a neutral move. By opposing the bill, the government has made its Christutva position very clear. On 16 July, Prabhakar and several sitting TVK MLAs were listed for a Christian Churches and Pastors Federation conference with Vijay's face on the event poster. Let us be very clear here. TVK leaders have every right to practice their faith. The only question is consistency. If a party openly uses religion for politics, can it still claim the label of secularism? We know that Tamil Nadu already has enough caste and religious fault lines. Does it need religion as the next dividing line? Look at the sequence. The kneeling church visit under the baptismal name. The self-description as a minority government. A speaker with an active evangelical ministry quoting the Bible from the chair. Repeated church events. The finance minister's explicit faith claims. The meeting with Paul Dinagaran. And the assembly resolution against FCRA tightening. Did TVK really enter politics to offer something different from the established Dravidian parties? Or is it creating its own version of minority-centric politics? Do drop your views in the comments. Thank you so much.